I'm taking a nap. I haven't had any coffee yet. It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. Bro, let's get some coffee. Good morning. It's actually not morning at all. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. I've never worked so hard in my entire life, and it feels amazing. I mean, I'm wrecked. You can see my bags. So last night, by the time I got into bed to edit the video, it was about 11:30. It just takes a long time to do these, and then by the time I was done with the full edit, like I do one pass, I get everything there, it was 45 minutes long. 45 minutes long. I can't, who's gonna watch a 45-minute vlog? So then I gotta try to figure out, well, how do I cut this down with making it still have some kind of story involved with it? It was terrible, dude. I was actually really upset with that video yesterday. I had too many ideas bouncing around. It was a 26-minute video, and you still don't really know what my nutritional program is. The fact that it took me 26 minutes to not be able to tell you that I intermittent fast between 16 to 20 hours a day. I bring in most of my calories through fats, nuts and seeds, avocados, oils. I make sure to primarily eat whole foods, real foods, broccoli, potatoes, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I basically eat once a day, which I try to do high volume, low calorie, high nutrition. So that's vegetables, right, is the way to go. But also after that, usually I'll need to kind of flip that and be like, high calorie, low volume, high nutrition, which is nuts and seeds. I cram all that into a pretty short eating window, and on the bike, I never eat before I ride, ever. I don't eat solid food. I actually almost never eat solid food, period, while riding. It's all liquid calories, but I try to bring as much calories in per bottle as I can. When a really hard road race or a big event, I try to shoot for 100 grams of carbs per hour and about 300 to 400 calories per hour. I don't do a whole lot of supplementation, but the Kyoku to just make sure that I fill any sort of gaps in protein or carbs or calories for the day. You could consider me plant-based, but I would say I'm coffee-based. So it's 2:30, I gotta get out on the real road. I have 4 hours to do today. I do not want to spend 4 hours on this frickin' trainer. So I could probably get 2 hours on the real road and then 2 hours in here. That should be good. I want to talk about my knee problems and my knee issues in the past and how I've corrected for those. That's gonna be mainly the story today, is how I fixed my knee issues with stretching and band work. So let's hit the road. It is cold outside, California cold, 50 degrees. 50 degrees in California is basically a blizzard. So we've got some new gear from Eliel that we're gonna put on, some new thermal winter gear. That's what we're gonna rock. But let's go crush it now. All right, so I want to talk about two things. One, elitist douche canoes, and two, riding in cold weather, AKA California dreaming. So I had done a couple videos about this in the past, or mentioned this, that when I was coming through my community, I was exposed to some serious elitist douche canoes. And I mean, long canoes, bro. Ron Swanson canoes. And I think it's gotten better since then, but when guys get fit, man, they have a real selective memory. They forget that they were ever a Cat 5 pushing 2.5 watts per kilo. They popped out their mother's vagina freaking rolling. Sometimes guys will get strong and they stop relating to the difficulty that road cycling is. You might have experienced this when you're climbing with someone, your tongue is in the spoke, you're dying,
You're about to have a heart attack. You get to the top and you're like, wow, that was brutal. And the douche canoe's like, oh man, I was zone 1. I was barely even trying. It's like as they get stronger, they don't want to admit that they ever feel pain. And I don't want to be like that. One thing I really liked about Phil Guyman when I rode with him is that he could relate to my struggles even though we were on a totally different platform. And why I'm even talking about this is that in the last 2 months, I've seen huge improvements. And sometimes I feel like I come off as an absolute douche kayak, one of them real speedy ones, performance douche kayak, talking about my watts. I just need you to know that it is not lost on me that 5 watts per kilo FTP is absolutely bananas. The thing I love most about cycling is that no matter your background, if you're a doctor, if you're homeless, it doesn't matter. If you're on a bike, you're sharing that experience. And it also doesn't matter how fast you're going. Everyone has suffered up a climb. Everyone has hit the wall. Everyone knows those feelings, despite if you're flying or not. It's a shared experience. So I guess a small PSA to anyone, dude, don't be a douche canoe. And if I'm being an absolute douche loofah from Bed Bath and Doucher, let me know. But here's what's real strange about California and where I ride. Because you're going up and down and it's like 45 degrees, it's really cold until you get going and you go up a hill, you blow up all sweaty, then you're going down a hill. So it's almost way better if it's way colder, because then you can dress for that. But how do you dress for it being warm on a climb and cold on a descent, but then it's cold at this part of the ride and warm at that part of the ride? So Eliel has this T3 jacket. It's expensive. Everything Eliel does is expensive, but it is 100% worth it. This jacket is so light, but so warm and so breathable. I also have the T2 thermal jersey and their thermal base layer. I am toasty right now, but you just unzip a little bit, I'm on the climb, it's all good. And I know that sounds like an annoying sponsor plug. Eliel has been behind me since day one. Back when I had 10,000 subscribers, they took the gamble and made me my own VC kit. Eliel has supported my cycling camps every year. They always have me decked out in the right gear. And seriously, don't even ask anything from me. And since we're being brutally honest during this vlog, I have had 2 offers from other clothing brands for a lot of money. Getting paid to run clothing. That's what? But I didn't even hesitate to consider that, because I am as loyal as I can be to Eliel. I'm not on the payroll for Eliel. I love everyone that works there. I love their whole brand, and I'll be with Eliel till I'm an 85-year-old world champ. And if you ever want to buy some gear, code VeganBro10, that saves you a little bit. But man, I love Eliel.
Okay, so let's talk about knee injuries, right? So I had a knee injury in 2012 on my right side, that pretty much took me off the bike. I went and got it looked at, like x-rays, MRIs, had a surgery consultation. They were actually going to do surgery on it because there was a little bit of tear in there. I had this chopping method, right? It was like chopping my top tube. It was so unstable. If I tried to do squats, it just felt like my knees were going to explode into pieces. And the very first time that I had a consultation with Tim, he had me do some squats on camera. I did one squat and he was like, stop, I see your problem. But so I'd always dealt with right knee pain until all of a sudden it just became an impossible knee pain. I could not pedal the bike. It was a sharp electrocuting pain. I mean, takes your breath away. So then I posted it on Instagram, and Tim Wu from Socal Bike PT, he hit me up and he was like, I got you. And I was thinking, there's no way he understands my personal issues, right? He hasn't seen my problem before. This is a very unique problem just to me because I'm a special snowflake. So we had our consultation, and automatically Tim just sort of was giving me this encouragement. I know how to fix you. And I'm just thinking, there's no way he knows how to fix me or this problem, because I could not ride. I just thought, I'm done. This is over. This is where he started me off, is just on the ground and with a really easy band. This one's like a little bit tough. And I'm trying to connect my brain to my glute. And at first it wasn't there. And I was really trying to like tweak and lean on my back and do all this weird stuff. You need here, right? So that your hips are straight, and I'm pulling up here. And I'm activating my glute. The next one that he had me do is I'm straight and I'm pulling my leg back and up. Again, engaging that glute back there. He had me do those for a really long time until he set me up with the fire hydrants. So you're just here and you're basically trying to, like a dog, lift up your leg and pee on a fire hydrant. And again, really engaging the glute back there. Trying to keep my back straight and lift my leg up as high as I can. Like I'm pissing on something. And you gotta feel around. It's like, it's so subtle, but you'll find where your glute really starts to burn. And then same thing where he had me also do a straight and back. You're like back and out a little bit. And then he had me do those on the ground for like 2 weeks. And I thought this was so stupid. How can this be fixing my knee? Then he had me stand up and start working in a standing position and really start to work on my glutes here. So opening up this band, and then like you're in a cycling position with your knees. I'm bringing my knees out, but I'm using my glutes to do this. So I'm here. This was so difficult to do in the beginning, but now, dude, it's no big deal. And then the one that I liked the most, it's like the standing fire hydrant. And I really liked this one because it, for whatever reason, got my brain to connect to my glute the best. And it's like also a bit of a core stabilization thing, but you're on one foot and I'm pulling out my knee onto one side, engaging that glute. Then from here, you can even go to a more advanced position and go into that right here, like the fire hydrant, also curled over. We're doing that on both sides. And man, if you do like 30 seconds times 3 each side and go through this routine, your ass will be on fire. And then he had me do a modified stretch here where my leg is in a 90-degree angle. And I've got this back because at first I was so tight I couldn't get it behind me. So I just came here and I try to go all the way down to the ground. I don't know if you can see me. And really try to stretch. It stretches like I don't know, dude, I don't know what it stretches. I'm not a PT, but this one helped out a lot. And then you go to the more advanced one where your leg is behind you. Now, like you can see that I am so tight still that I can't get my butt to the ground. I want to get my butt to the ground, but you can see that gap there. So that's not great. I really got to work on my stretching even more. Just the volume, man, has me so tight. But this really helps out. And now he didn't tell me to do any of these, but I just sometimes like to just go flat-footed on the ground here and really kind of stretch out my like crotch, I guess. Dude, crotch is the grossest word there is. I had to completely relearn how to ride a bicycle, I realized when I started using these bands that I never used my glutes to ride. They were completely dead. And there's a brain muscle connection that actually starts to happen. And I was using these bands for about a month where I could barely ride. I couldn't ride for like 2 weeks. I was using these and I really thought there's no way this little tiny flu-foo thing is gonna help me, but it did. And one time I was riding a mountain bike just with like flip-flops up my driveway and it sort of clicked. I could feel my glutes engage and I was using my glutes to power versus just straight up quads. So just to sum up, I've had all the knee pain, outside, top, and inside. Bands have helped me engage my glutes to just be a stronger rider for one and to prevent outside knee pain. I've used stretching, the quad pull, like heel to butt, and a few other stretches to stretch out my quads to stop the inner knee pain. The top of the knee pain is usually a bike fit thing and just the position on the bike. The movements of the band are really super simple. You just have to get it in your mind that this will be a solution. All right, dude, let's go eat. All right, so we never watch TV. It's not really a thing. We do have Netflix, and our thing is to sit and watch a show during dinner. So I know a lot of people like to sit around the table, but since we don't watch TV, we do it here. And so we've watched The Office, Parks and Recreation, that 70s show, like several times actually. Bob's Burgers.
I feel like because we're all together at home also, except for them being at school, but like most people work until 5, 6 and then come home and then that's their time to be together, but we're always together.
Totally. I wish you could taste this cauliflower. Your mind would explode into pieces. Also, the thin little discs of potatoes, they are so good. And then we've got this harvest chili with avocado. Bro, these dinners off the chains. This is what we eat all the time, every day. Nothing special.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So we're gonna enjoy our dinner. We're gonna watch The Office and hang out as a family. And as always, thanks for watching. Vegan Cyclist.
Yeah!
That's Santa.
Santa's Toy Shop.
I like Santa.
Way up in, yeah, Santa. Way up north in the land of ice and snow stands a cozy little house. And besides the front door hangs a neat little sign. S. Claus, says the sign. Shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake that booty.